Dalavina guia dolosana angito talita kini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na dang kutevita utu ngoi 90 ando talita wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana ser.
Na dang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana ser.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Tambo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana ser ngo lusu.
Bula FM nambando ana ser.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate. This is FBC News tonight. Fiji's first ever alleged serial rapist charged. Conjunctivitis medication prices raise concern. An Australian Defence Force starts assessment in Ra. A man who police claim is the country's first serial rapist has now been charged for the brutal murder of 14-year-old Mere Alievu of Dumba earlier this month. 39-year-old Chosua Dolu from the same settlement as the victim has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of rape, 1 count of murder and 1 count of abduction. Akusita Tale with more.
The accused is a security officer at Abayan Pacific Harbour and lives just 3 minutes away from Mere Alievu's home in Vunimbombo settlement in Deumba. Joshua Dolu, also known as Big Joe, was arrested on the 20th of March and has confessed to the rape, murder and abduction charges. He will appear in the Suva Magistrates Court tomorrow with 2 additional rape charges from 1998 and 2002. Police have also confirmed there may be more cases.
The other victims that are out here, for the police side, we will pursue all avenues to see that the cases is investigated and again this perpetrator to be charged for the offence.
Dolu is alleged to have committed the offences over several years, but no official report was lodged with police. This as it is claimed that the late mother of the alleged perpetrator had been engaged in seeking forgiveness through traditional means of apologizing.
This case could have been avoided. If these victims come to police and report, they have the whole, the post is just there. They can report and they have so much time to that they can report. But as I mentioned, they were suppressed.
Dolu was taken back to Vunimbombo settlement for the first time yesterday since his arrest. A team of investigators trying to piece together the evidence had the man allegedly behind the crime reconstruct the events of that fateful day. FBC News visited Vunimbombo settlement last night with members of the Community Crime Prevention Committee and police officers guarding the suspect's house. ACP Navella says they are awaiting the DNA result and claims Dolu is a drug lord in the area. More charges are expected to be laid against the security officer as investigations continue. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
We now join our journalist Akosita Tale live. Akosita, this case is attracting a lot of interest. Can you tell us more?
Yes, Jackie, it definitely has raised eyebrows of the public, and Dolu's first appearance in court tomorrow for Mere's case should attract a huge interest. Dolu will be appearing at the Suva Magistrates Court, and this place is sure to be filled with people. We've spoken to Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Giliho, and he says they are aware of the huge interest this case has generated. Thereby, there will be very tight security and high police visibility to ensure that the accused does not succumb to any threats from the public. Dolu will appear at the Magistrates Court tomorrow on 2 counts of rape, 1 count of murder and 1 count of abduction on the 14-year-old victim, as well as on 2 other additional rape charges. Jackie.
Thanks for that update, Akosita. 1,700 cases of conjunctivitis have been so far recorded in Suva alone for the past 2 weeks. According to National Advisor for Communicable Disease, Dr. Mike Kama, he says this can be avoided by practicing good hygiene. Savara Tambo has more details.
More than 50% of patients attended to by medical officers at health facilities affected with conjunctivitis.
In the other divisions in Fiji, we have the usual numbers that one would expect every year. Conjunctivitis is not a new disease in Fiji. We have about 7,000 cases a year, every year, for the last 10 or so years. So the numbers in the other divisions are the usual numbers. So in Suva and also in some of the Eastern Division, the case numbers are actually rising as it is.
Chief Pharmacist Apollo Sibosanibola says that the arrival of the eye ointment from overseas has been deferred.
The delays is something that we always occurred, especially with things that are coming out of the country that we did not foresee. But just to reassure everyone again that we will be getting our supplies as what we have asked for to come for this week.
Here at the Samambula Health Center, out of the 500 patients that were attended to by medical officers yesterday, 300 cases were affected with conjunctivitis.
The trend is not quite decreasing, it's actually going as it was previously.
The Health Ministry is reminding the public to be careful and see medical experts if they are affected. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The increased price of ointment or eye drops for conjunctivitis or Zika is the talk of the town. With the disease now confirmed as an outbreak, the demand for the medication has also seen prices shoot up. Savara Tambua again with this report.
People are queuing up at pharmacies to buy the eye drops, and most consumers are surprised at the amount they have to fork out for this small bottle of medication.
Quite difference from the different pharmacies. The one I went earlier, I got one for $7, and I came here, it's around $16. So there's no, you can't tell the price is always changing, in all the pharmacies. But they said that it depends on the brand and stuff. But it's really disappointing going. I went to the hospital on Sunday and went back today early in the morning at 6 and still they don't have it. So I came all the way from now and a lot of people got it in my place. So it's really, I'm just wondering how they're coping,
Pharmacists say people need to be mindful of the fact that conjunctivitis is an outbreak and wholesalers are using urgent methods to bring in the stock, hence resulting in the price hike.
Just for that reason, the suppliers don't keep that quantity. But once sort of something like this happens, we normally air freight things. Right, and that virtually incurs a bit of cost in there. But talking to my suppliers last week, it is not only Fiji that's been affected. They mentioned that they have supplied quite a bit of big quantities out of Australia to Vanuatu. So that means virtually it's a regional sort of Zika thing happening rather than in Suva only.
Most pharmacies are running out of stock.
It has been going on for about 2 weeks now. I think by my estimates that we have seen from 300 to 500 patients already coming to buy eye drops for conjunctivitis.
This small bottle is now the key to cure for those affected, and it may just mean forking out more than usual to get access to this medication. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Australian Defence Force has started its assessment of schools devastated by Tropical Cyclone Winston in the Ra province. A team of assessors are working with their Fijian counterparts this past few days, while works on the ground is expected to start this weekend. Madhyam Bolaitamana with this report.
The Australian Defence Force and Fiji Military Forces Engineers Corps on the ground assessing the damages sustained to schools in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston.
We have a 6-man assessment team, engineering assessment team, who works with the Fijian assessment team, and we go around and we assess the schools. On top of that, we have a troop or a platoon of engineers, approximately 30 soldiers, who will be working with the Fijian engineers to start repairing the schools where possible.
The ADF and Fiji military forces have been working with the Provincial Administrator's Office on the areas most affected. Lieutenant Guman says this is where the focus will be whilst their operation in Ra.
So this is the 7th school that we've visited over the past few days. We have a list of how many schools the district officer would like us to visit, and we'll work in line with their priorities. So we're waiting for the Fijian engineers, the military engineers, to arrive, and once they arrive, we plan on working in a team with them to start repairing the schools.
He says the ADF is pleased to contribute in any way to help return the children to their classrooms.
So so the devastation in the Western Province is quite profound, and it's a delight and an honour to be able to help in whichever way we can.
For schools like St. Francis here in Ra, the timely arrival of the Australian Defence Force Engineers Corps and their Fijian counterparts comes as a sigh of relief as their children can now return to classrooms in the not-so-distant future. Madhyum Boleh Tamana, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, fish poisoning a concern. And new street and traffic lights for areas affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Stay with us.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Archery Olympic. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tagore Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the...
Welcome back. This is FBC News. New Zealand Foreign Minister Murray McCully has announced a $10 million package to help Fiji repair public infrastructure following Cyclone Winston. McCully says the impact of Cyclone Winston was widespread and Fiji now faces the long and expensive task of restoring infrastructure. Of the funding announced today, $500,000 will be used to supply building materials for projects being undertaken by the New Zealand Defence Force in the Lau Islands. HMNZ's Canterbury's original deployment has been extended and it will now remain in the area until mid-April to support these construction tasks. The remaining funding will be used to rebuild schools, evacuation centres and medical facilities on Vanuatu and elsewhere in Fiji. This latest package brings total New Zealand aid to Fiji following Cyclone Winston to more than $15 million. Most cases of fish poisoning are not reported to various hospitals around the country. This was highlighted at a fish poisoning workshop held in Suva today. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Ciguatera is a foodborne illness caused by eating certain reef fish whose flesh is contaminated. It appears that in Fiji there has been high incidence of Ciguatera fish poisoning. However, a lot of cases have not been reported, especially from the rural areas.
The data that we get from the Ministry of Health, less than 100 people get ciguatoxin because those are the reported cases. And we feel that that's unreported, particularly in rural areas. There's lots of people who are suffering from Ciguatera that do not go to the hospital and report the cases.
Lako says they're still trying to identify species of fish that might contain the toxins.
It affects the whole age group. The younger they get poisonous, the stronger the symptoms would be. One of the problems we face here is in some locations, the fish that are toxin in one side is not toxin on the other. We realize are well known to be toxin and not toxin. For example, the mbati or ndamu, is well known to be toxin. You would be weak, having breathing problems, if particularly you would be dehydrated, diarrhea and vomiting, because your system is trying to reject the toxin.
Fisheries Minister Osea Naingamu says fish poisoning poses a threat to the country's economy.
Major direct adverse impacts of Ciguatera fish poisoning include loss of food source, loss of fish to fishing and tourism industries, high cost of public health, monitoring and management.
The workshop will go on for another day as more discussions will be carried out. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Prime Fiji has sent new and improved infrastructure for street lights and traffic lights to areas that were severely affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Prime Fiji Operations Manager Les Johnston says the newly improved brackets that were installed last year survived the strong winds by TC Winston. Meanwhile, Prime Fiji has also installed technologies that reduce carbon emission.
One of the things that we're putting in now with the cyclone works is a lot of LED technology. So we're putting in a lot of LED lights, and I think it works out every 100 lights we put in, it saves about 6,000 kilograms of CO2, ozone depleting gases going in. So we're trying to be more greener.
Prime Fiji is committed to improving Fiji's standard of streetlights and traffic signals and suffers a loss of more than $1 million after the devastation by Cyclone Winston. Turning to world news, an Egyptian hijacker who forced a domestic flight to land in Cyprus used a fake suicide belt, officials say. His motives remain unclear, but the country's president said the incident was not terrorist-related. We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with all the very latest.
Naka Jackie, and good evening. In sports after the break, Ryan clears the air on off-field issues, and Elder hoping to make third Olympics. This and more coming up.
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से सामान है, हम वेजिटेबल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Vodafone Fiji Sevens reps Vatemo Ravavo and Isake Katanimba were back in training today after being cleared from injuries they sustained in the last leg of the Sevens series. Coach Ben Ryan spoke with FBC Sports today and revealed some of the issues the team faces with sickness while on tour. Vashnil Prasad has the details.
Under the leadership of the coach Ben Ryan for the past 3 years, this season has been something of a challenge to the Fiji Sevens team. From opening leg in Dubai to Vancouver, our players have been hit with virus and sickness while on tour.
It only takes a handshake, and somewhere like Vegas, where we say there's lots of possibility for contact. So when you go to the opening ceremony in the streets of old Vegas, you're high-fiving everyone, 100, 200 people. You need one of those people to be ill, and for then your hand just to go to your mouth or to wipe your nose, and suddenly that's in your body.
Ryan and his officials are leaving no stones unturned on taking a proper care of the players while overseas.
We're very good on our protocols. We use hand bacteria and hand sanitizers. We isolate players that have any first signs. We have heart rate monitors in training, and when we start to see an elevation in heart rate, it's a sign that they may be getting ill. So immediately we give them all the opportunity, all the various things that we can take legally to get them fit again.
It's surely out of human control, and they can hope for ease it doesn't affect the team when they're on their up.
I think we have everything, all our protocols at world-class levels, and the boys are very resilient normally. One of those things that happens, and I'm glad it happened now and doesn't happen, hopefully, again this season or in Rio.
With Hong Kong and Singapore being the next stop, all we could expect that our national team gives its best when it's needed. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Sonny Bill Williams sat out New Zealand Sevens training yesterday, but will be available for the upcoming Hong Kong and Singapore events. And with the Olympics drawing nearer, a lot of talk recently has surrounded why more All Blacks did not have a go at making the team to Rio. Coach Tidgens, though, has moved on. The Vodafone Fiji Rugby Under-20 team presented its itatau to President Chochi Konrote today. The side will play warm-up matches in New Zealand before taking part in the World Rugby Under-20 trophy next month. Vashnil Prasad reports.
They could be dubbed as one of the bottom-graded national team when it comes to rugby in Fiji. But this set of Fiji Under-20 players will hope to prove the critics wrong in the World Trophy tournament next month.
We've proved ourselves from qualifying from the Oceania last year here in Suva. So, we know we could do it, and we can do it. And it's the onus is on the boys to, to give out their 100% when they take on the field.
Missing out the opportunity last year, this set of players are confident and hope to beat Samoa, Uruguay and Zimbabwe in the pool stages.
We're very ambitious, but we can't go in with the hopes high. We have to still go there and knowing that the team are going to give us a good game. And the only way to win the competition is if we play as a team and perform to our best abilities.
All we can hope the message received here will change the mindset of the players, and they can lift Fiji up from the Tier 2 division where they were dumped years ago.
Right now this nation needs something to take our minds off the tragedy of Cyclone Winston. We need some victory. I have no doubt that we will bring back that victory.
The team flies off to New Zealand next week to play 2 warm-up matches before taking part in the tournament from the 19th of April. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Fiji archery rep Robert Elder is eyeing his 3rd Olympic Games in Brazil later in August. The national rep will lead a 4-member team to the Oceania Games in Tonga tomorrow, which serves as a qualifying event for the Olympics. Talent Daudakadaka reports.
Robert Elder is enjoying the best form in his career as he prepares for the Oceania Games in Tonga, where he takes on the best archers from Australia, New Zealand, New Caledonia, Samoa and Tahiti next weekend.
Yeah, this qualifiers in Tonga is it's CQT. It's a qualifying for any Oceania country. There's 2 spots available out of the 64 spots. I'm quite confident with the way I'm shooting now.
Elder has already been to 2 Olympic Games, in 2004 in Athens and 2012 in London. He is confident of securing another qualification to the Rio Olympics in August.
I qualified on merit for the Athens Olympics in 2004. I was placed 48th out of 64. The second one was in London. I improved my position to 32 out of 64. I qualified on merit as well. Hopefully this will be my 3rd Olympics, and I'm hoping to qualify on merit too.
Elder says if he qualifies for his 3rd Olympic Games, he will dedicate the achievement to his late father, who introduced him to archery 16 years ago. Talent Daudakadaka, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Car Club expects to see a large turnout at its first quarter-mile drag race of the year this weekend. The season has started a little later than usual due to Tropical Cyclone Winston, but officials expect an increase in the number of participants.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for all the racers out there. I think it's going to be a more tough year for Ravinathan himself, the champion driver. You know, his record of 9.75 seconds might be broken this year. There's a lot of cars that is getting built now. So, we're hoping, more cars come in, more specialist drag cars come in and compete in this year's events.
The event will be held on Sunday at Nanuku Airstrip in Deumba. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The new FMF biscuit factory in Lami is expected to start its operations in the next 5 months. FMF operations manager Vinod Kumar says that they are extending their biscuit line as they are having capacity issues with their current factory, and that the production will focus on the export market.
It's an overall 40 million project. Majority of the time it will be focused on the export market. Initial planning is to start with the crackers, and that's flavored crackers and similar type of crackers. And in later onwards, when depends upon the demand, we will go to other type of biscuits too. So.
Cloudy conditions with isolated showers were experienced over most places today. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and showers affects Fiji. In temperatures, Lambasa was the hottest today, ending on 33 degrees, while Ba was on 32. All other centres finished the day on 31 degrees. Looking at tomorrow's occasional showers over most places, isolated heavy falls and thunderstorms are expected, so keep those umbrellas handy. And the further outlook is cloudy periods with some showers about the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Fiji's first ever alleged serial rapist charged and to appear in court tomorrow. Conjunctivitis medication price raises concern amongst Fijians, and Australian Defence Force has started its assessment in Ra. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to this week's poll question, we are asking: has conjunctivitis become a major concern for Fiji? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asunu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.